All right, y'all. Big breaking news. It's official. It's happened. Trump seemingly pardoned, I think it's every January 6th rioter and criminal. So let me walk you through it. The reason I say I think it's all of them is because the number is colossal. So he is granting full pardons to 1,500 January 6 rioters, and he's commuting the sentence of six others. Now, he also goes on to say, I might end up giving them full pardons too after I research their cases more. So let me walk you through this here. This is from CNN. They say the Justice Department is also expected to move in court to dismiss the cases that have not yet gone to trial. And there's actually quite a few of them that have not yet gone to trial, and a lot of them are felonies. So more than 730 people have been convicted of misdemeanor offenses in connection with January 6th. 300 prosecutions are still pending. And then they also go on to say, I believe the number is 55% of the cases are misdemeanor, which means 45% are felonies. So Trump has long pledged to pardon some of his supporters who stormed the U.S. Capitol. This is, again, I'm reading from CNN here. More than 140 police officers were injured during January 6th. 140 police officers were injured. So, look, a lot of these people, assaulted cops, right? A lot of them assaulted cops. They go on to say, after the attack, the Justice Department and FBI launched a nationwide manhunt to identify and arrest the rioters, which turned out to be the biggest criminal probe in U.S. history. I didn't know that. Prosecutors charged 1,580 people and secured 1,270 convictions. Again, 55% of the prosecutions were misdemeanors, which means that 45% were felonies. It's charges like, for the misdemeanors, it was charges like disorderly conduct or trespassing. But there you have it, 1,500 full pardons, and 6 commutations that might eventually become pardons. So this is an indication of what the second term is going to be like. This is maximalist Trump. This is Trump unleashed, unhinged Donald Trump. Because again, there's no voices around him to tamper his worst instincts. He's surrounded by sycophants and yes men. And so to them and to him, this was an obvious thing to do, right? Yeah, pardon 1,500 of them. Pardon basically all of them, even though 45% committed felonies, even though 140 police officers were assaulted. Do that because why the hell not? Who's going to stop us? Nobody's going to stop us. We're going to do whatever the hell we want, and there's zero consequences. And think of the precedent that this sets. That's the real scary part in this conversation is, so now there's zero accountability, zero justice, zero consequences. If there's a planned effort to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power and basically try to keep Trump in as president illegally, we know how orchestrated this was. We know how planned this was. Enrique Tarrio, the Proud Boy, he was just released. This guy was in on all of the planning at a very high level. They knew what they were doing. It was a coup. It was an insurrection. It was, let's try to keep Trump in there and deny Biden the White House, even though Biden legitimately won the election in 2020. If there are zero consequences for that, what do you think the future looks like? Now we've made it so the peaceful transfer of power is not something that's guaranteed. It's not something that's backed up by the force of the law. Now it's just a matter of opinion. And, others can try as well to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power and do the fake elector slates in the 7 different states. And you remember, you had those people on the fake elector slates. Many of them went to jail because they admitted internally what we're doing is an illegal vote scheme. They said it, their own words, in personal correspondence, and we learned about it after. Trump knew it was illegal. All of them knew it was illegal. But Merrick Garland dragged his feet. Now Trump was charged with 91 crimes, and now he basically skates on every single one of them, even in the ones he was found guilty, like in New York, where he's a convicted felon. Even that, he got an unconditional release, right? So who's going to stop him with literally anything and everything that he wants to do? He's unchained now. There's no brakes in the car. And then the other point is, of course, I literally never again, ever want to hear anybody on the right bring up law and order as an issue. and I never want to hear them. If there are some Democratic riots or some Black Lives Matter riots somewhere in this country in the next 4 years, you can go right to shut the fuck upsville. Because here's Trump pardoning rioters. 1,500 January 6 rioters. Again, 45% of which were charged with felonies. 140 police officers assaulted. And he says, they did it for my cause, therefore it's okay. Well, then everybody could play that game. If it's for the cause I like, then I say it's okay. Right? And we all know they'll go right back to it. They'll go right back. If it's Democrats who are rioting or liberals or leftists who are rioting, if it's Antifa, oh my God, they're the worst people in the world, and throw the fucking book at them and lock them up and throw away the key. I mean, Trump is a guy, he was saying on the campaign trail, we should give drug dealers the death penalty. So there's your tough on crime thing, right? Something that shouldn't even be a crime, throw the book at them for that. But if somebody riots on behalf of me, or assaults police officers on behalf of me, or tries to do a coup on behalf of me, well, it's all totally fine. But again, think about it, guys. The one who planned all of this and orchestrated it and was the top of the conspiracy is Donald Trump. He never saw justice for what he did. Never. And so, you know, he's thinking, well, shit, if I didn't get knocked on this, none of these other people should get knocked on it either. So I'm going to say no harm, no foul. Actually, that's not even fair because there was harm. Just no foul. Go ahead. You guys get away with it and I'll back you. No problem whatsoever. And then I'll make a bold prediction here. I imagine some of these people that they're pardoning, they're going to become big Republican players. They're going to get involved in like right-wing media or work as staffers for some MAGA Congress people or something. We have not seen the end of these people, right? This is just the beginning. Now he has his stormtroopers. Now he has his Gestapo. And by the way, while we're having that conversation, yes, Elon Musk did a fucking Nazi salute. It's the most obvious thing in the world. He did it twice. Tried to give himself some plausible deniability. Oh, I was giving my heart to you or something. No, you weren't. You were doing a Nazi salute. Everybody knows it. It would have been more believable if you weren't praising the AfD in Germany and saying Nazi things on a weekly basis. Yes, he was doing a Nazi salute. They're letting it all fucking hang out now. They're letting it all hang out. So literally day one, 1,500 January 6 pardons, 6 commutations, which may very well eventually become pardons. In other words, Trump looked at it, saw that there were violent crimes and nonviolent crimes, and he said, I'm going to pardon the violent ones just as much as I'm going to pardon the nonviolent ones. I'm going to say they did nothing wrong whatsoever. And of course, as you know, he calls them hostages, right? He says the January 6 hostages. No, they're criminals who were convicted in a court of law. But no, here we go. Now they're free to go. So again, this is scary because it's an indication of what his mindset is and what he's going to do going forward, right? Any little fucking shitty instinct he has, he can go all in on that instinct. I mean, just now he was talking about Kim Jong-un and say, oh, he's got some nice beachfront property. You know, he's a good, it might be good to work with him. He's got some nice beachfront property. He was talking about how Justin Trudeau, oh, I spoke to the Prime Minister of Canada, but really I call him the governor of Canada. He's more like a governor. See, again, this is when there's no shame. There's no shame. There's no holding back. Every instinct he has, you bet your ass, they're going to try to do war with Mexico. That's why they designated the drug cartels as terrorist organizations. You bet your ass they're going to try to do war with Iran. There's nothing holding this man back in any way, shape, or form. He is all in, and we are way, way worse off as a result of it.